The stock market is in a frenzy. Nobody knows exactly what's going on, but the market's going to have some interesting volatility coming up in the next few weeks, in the next few days, in the next few months. And I'm going to break some of this down for you based on my research and what I'm seeing. So get comfortable, buckle up your seatbelt. We're going to get started on the Black Financial Channel right now. Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Black Financial Channel. That's theblackfinancialchannel.com. My name is Dr. Boyce Watkins. I'm your friendly neighborhood finance professor. On the Black Financial Channel, we talk about Black wealth and Black economics every day, sometimes as much as 10 times a day. And we do it under one condition. The condition is that we believe in the B1 philosophy. B1 means that you don't have to be Black to be here. We don't hate anybody, but we do put our people first. B1 means that we solve our own problems. We're going to pay ourselves reparations before anybody else does. B1 also means that we understand we must be one to be successful. B1 also means that we believe Black people can be number one when it comes to economics and wealth building within the next 50 years. In fact, I was mentioning today on my Twitter is Dr. Boyce Watkins 1. Please follow me there if you like intelligent Black conversations. And one thing I mentioned on Twitter is I said, imagine if we as a community decided that our children would be as good at wealth building as we are at basketball. Imagine what would happen if we decided that our children will be as good at starting businesses as we are at football. Imagine what would happen if our children were as good at investing and buying stocks and bonds and real estate as we are at rapping and all these other things and twerking and everything else that people think that we're supposed to do. We would be the best in the world. Give me a yes or no in the chat if you agree with me. I believe that we would be one of the most powerful, economically powerful groups of people on the planet if we put half the time into wealth that we put into basketball, football, rapping, and twerking. Give me a yes if you agree, if you understand, because that means we're the same type of people. If you don't get what I'm saying, if you think that our time is better used on all these other things, then I don't know if we're the same type of people. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with basketball. I love a good basketball game, but that's entertainment. There's nothing wrong with a little football. I played football back in the day, but that was what I did when I was a kid. It wasn't a game I played when I was a grown-ass man. And ain't nothing wrong with a little twerking. You ain't never gonna see me twerk. But hey, if you want to twerk it, that's okay. But twerk after you do the work. You do the work and then you do the twerking. Don't do the twerk before you do the work. A lot of us want to twerk without working, and that's what puts us behind. So if you agree, then put a yes in the chat. Let me know that we're on the same page, because I think these things are important, because we must realign our value system in order to align ourselves with wealth. Now, with that being said, hit the thumbs up button. Please hit the thumbs up, share, subscribe button if you haven't done it yet. Also, my Instagram is The Real Boyce Watkins. If you want to follow me there if you want to be Black and intelligent. If you're Black, if you're ignorant and white, or ignorant and Black, or ignorant and any ethnicity, then you probably don't want to follow me, because I would hate to have to block you with your ignorant ass. All right, so here's the deal. Right now with the stock market, here's what's going on. You have a few dynamics occurring. Yesterday, you probably got your butts kicked in your stocks. Your stocks probably took a nosedive. But typically, there are these reversals where sometimes the market gets oversold. Investors overreact. Sometimes they hear a little bad news and they freak out. The big bad news that I saw yesterday was when Japan announced that they weren't going to allow anybody to come to the Olympics. I think they literally are going to have empty stands. They had already said foreigners can't come to the Olympics, but then they said even domestic people may not be able to come, and they're going to have a state of emergency going all the way through the Olympics. Now, this bad news was compounded by other bad news with the jobs report. The jobs report basically said that the economy is not taking off as fast as people thought. So people are connecting two and two, and effectively, getting to this point where they feel that that this is all an indicator that the economy is not that strong. But that's not the primary school of thought right now. The major school of thought going on has to do with what the CPI numbers are going to be next week, the consumer price index. Where's inflation going to go? Inflation is a pretty strong indicator of where the economy is. It's not the only indicator, but it's one of many. But the CPI numbers are a big deal. And there's a measuring stick on this, what they call the 10-year bond yield. When that goes up, people think that means inflation is expected in the future. That means that the economy might be overheating. That becomes a problem. That was your problem last month. Now, what's interesting is that the 10-year yield keeps dropping. It keeps dropping largely because some people think that this means that maybe the economy isn't that strong. Excuse me. It also might mean that maybe people are flocking away from stocks and going into bonds, pushing up bond prices, which pushes down that yield. So why am I saying all this? Why does this matter? Well, I think the big question now is which world are we living in? Are we living in a world where there's all this pent up demand and where growth is going to be out of control? And our biggest problem is that we might have too much growth, or are we in a world where our big problem is that we have too little growth? Nobody really knows exactly what's going on, and that's still being determined. But what did happen today so far, anyway, is that you probably made money in your stocks because you saw I wrote my whole dissertation on this kind of phenomenon. You saw reversals, basically, where typically the market tends to overreact up or down. So when you have a day where it shoots way up, the next day it's usually going to kind of cool down because maybe people take their profits and they bounce out, or whatever the case may be. When it goes way down, people overreact. And then the next day, people see buying opportunities and they buy whatever. I tend to be an investor who buys the dip. I do that consistently, mainly because I just don't want to drive myself crazy trying to anticipate what the market's going to do next. Most of the research says that you really can't tell exactly what a particular stock is going to do tomorrow. People will tell you all day, yeah, I can predict, yeah, whatever. Just like you have your system at blackjack that helps you beat the casino every time. People are always going to say these things, but the reality is that it's very difficult to predict, and you don't want to drive yourself crazy. So you maybe want to pick your strategy in advance. So that's what I'm seeing right now with the market. I see a lot of good opportunities there. My stock pick of the day, and I'll give you guys a stock pick at least once a week when I'm in here, is Microsoft. I like Microsoft a lot. I actually bought some more Microsoft. So if you're looking for a solid long-term investment, feel free to take a look at Microsoft. I think that they are going to do extremely well in the area of cloud computing. I believe they're going to pick up some market share. They're competing heavily with Amazon in that area. And actually, both Amazon and Microsoft, I think, are really good long-term picks as far as solid companies. So that's just my 2 cents. Now, those of you who are asking lots of questions and stuff like that in the chat, I don't have a lot of time today, but we do every Tuesday. We have stock market investing class where you have the ability to ask me any question. I answer every single question submitted by every single student, and the first month is totally free. So if you'd like to join that, and you can even leave your question in advance, and I will always answer those questions. So you can go to the blackstockmarketprogram.com. That's the URL. The first month is free. There's a 30-day 100% money back guarantee if you're not happy for any reason. And also every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern, all I do is I answer stock market questions for all the students that are in there. So if you want to talk to me directly about this type of stuff, feel free to join us on Tuesdays. And also, you guys know about our book club. We have our book club. I don't want to call it the Powernomics book club, but right now we're focusing on books that relate to Powernomics. So if you want to go take a look at that, you can go to blackkeystogreatness.com. And the book club is totally free. And every Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, we've been reading books. We started with Black Labor, White Wealth by Dr. Claude Anderson. We're working through that book right now. So if you want to join us, you can actually join for this week. At the end of this week, we're going to end the free aspect of this. But right now, you can join for free at blackkeystogreatness.com. So feel free to join the book club there as well. So some of the stuff in the Black Business School isn't free, but there's a lot of free stuff. So either way, even if you don't have any money, join us and get the free stuff. Our free stuff is better than anything you ever learned in college. I guarantee it. You're not going to learn this type of stuff at Harvard University. You're not going to learn it at Howard University. You're not going to learn it at Yale or Stanford or anywhere else, because there's a certain way Black people need to be taught economics. And most universities do not teach Black people economics the way we need to learn it. Black people do not need to learn how to manage other people's businesses. We need to learn how to build businesses and develop industry and understand the risk factors that come into play when you are Black. So there's a special way that Black wealth needs to be discussed that's different from white wealth. And I really think it's very important for you to understand the difference. If you don't get that difference, then what's going to happen is you're going to spend your whole life trying to do what white people do, and then it's not going to work. And then you're going to feel like this isn't fair because of racism, when really people like myself and Dr. Claude Anderson can explain to you why your dynamics are different from their dynamics. And it's really important that you get that. Some of you will get it, some of you won't. Those who don't get it, God bless you. I hope you figure it out later. But right now, to this point, the reason you're so far behind is because you've been applying all the wrong solutions, and the wrong people are being asked the right questions, but the right questions need to be asked of the right people. People like Dr. Claude Anderson and others know the answers, but there's a reason why media doesn't want to hear from these people, because they really don't want you to make progress. That's just my 2 cents. It sounds conspiracy theory like, but if you look at the evidence, just look at the evidence, you will see that everything I'm saying is 100% true, because your community has not been doing very well when it comes to economics. Am I lying or am I telling the truth? Somebody give me a yes or no if you understand what I'm saying. Okay, guys, I got to go. I got a meeting. I hope you guys have a great day. Please hit the thumbs up button on your way out, and I will see you guys soon. Take care. Have a good one. Talk to you later. Peace.